Alright, here we have a 1991 Mallard Class C motorhome with a rubber roof, and as you can see that the roof is chalking and that there is several areas that the roof has failed. We have a couple areas where water has infiltrated the cab and the coach. There's a couple areas here on the front of the cab. It's a very classic area for it to leak, and we do have some water damage inside. But this is a nice rig. We'd like to preserve it, make the repairs using the EPDM rubber liquid roof. So we're going to go through this, clean this roof up now. We're going to scrape off some of the loose caulking and check the roof for any areas that we need to do more extensive repair before we pour the liquid roof on. So our first step will be to broom and brush, sweep the caulking or chalking off of the roof, and then we will do a little more extensive work with a putty knife, scraping the loose caulking off of the seams. Anything that'll get lifted up and easily removed, we will remove it so we can get a better repair. As you can see, I've removed the AC unit and set it to the side per direction. I first broom swept and then followed up in areas that needed additional attention with a stiff bristle brush, followed by air compressor to blow the roof clean of loose material, and then in preparation for the acetone wipe down, and then the rubber coating. Potential problem. Removed all the covers, as you can see there behind me there with the refrigerator, and then after blowing that with the air compressor, I came back with wiped the roof down with acetone. But another thing that I did to preserve and improve this roof was to raise the AC unit up a little higher, and I took 3/8" plywood and made shims and cut off any sharp corners. And what I did with this was I separated the rubber from the existing roof deck and inserted these shims between the rubber and the existing roof. And then my plan is to set the AC unit back on there, and essentially these shims will form a dam and keep any water from coming in. And here's an example of what I was doing. I'm going to insert the shim that I had showed previously in between the rubber, existing rubber, and then after this is in place, I will glue everything back down, and this area will receive coating with the EPDM liquid rubber. And here's an example of what we did. You see that the seat for the AC unit is up about 3/8 inch and forming a tight seal. Okay, this is the wipe down with the acetone. We remove any of the remaining loose caulking or chalking, and you can see by the shadows that this has taken pretty much the better part of the day. It's about, I'd say, about 6 hours of work with a helper. And we're preparing to put the liquid roof down in the morning. Again, we got a rain predicted within 24 hours of this application, so I'm really going to be interested to see how well this works. Out of the product on the rest of the roof. But I can't stress enough how important this is. And again, it's just working the material out across the roof, making sure that you get it all coated. And I can see as this cures how this is going to be nice and waterproof. I took the roller and I kind of wedged the material in between the side of the RV and the molding that clamps down the existing rubber roof. You can see we've placed the once we got the AC unit area coated, we went ahead and replaced the AC unit. We just set the AC unit onto the opening with a new gasket per recommendation, and we'll come back in a day and tighten it down. So this is after a day's application. Actually, this is the next day, and we did get some bubbling in the product, which they were saying at the EPDM office that the bubbling was normal and to be expected, and that it would lay down. So we're hoping that will happen as it cures. Not more than a little rain. We got quite a bit of rain. It was actually almost an inch of rain through the storm. This is about 3 days afterwards, and I think the cold weather is keeping this from curing. But I'm happy to report that there was no leakage in the RV, and